Hi, hello everyone. So this is the last topic of section 5.5, and I'm called it C because this is where we go over the sum and difference of cubes. Usually this is considered last. It's the least important, but you may have questions about this on exam or the final, which is made by the department. So the format is either a cubed plus b cubed or a cubed minus b cubed. And we have to either memorize or know these formulas or have access to the formulas in order to factor a problem that looks like this. It's going to look similar to the difference of squares because it has two terms, but there's going to be either a plus or a minus. And the exponent is going to be a multiple of 3. Not necessarily exactly 3, but a multiple of 3. And the key thing that we must do before we do anything is, in this case, we have to find what A and B are first. And once we do, we are just going to apply these formulas as you see here. Okay, so that's the basic idea. So let's do the first problem, 8x cubed minus 27. I already have the formulas here on the right for us to remember. And so again, the question is not going to say factor the sum or difference of cubes. It's just going to say factor or factor completely. So this is minus 27. Let's make sure that I copy this thing correctly. 8x cubed minus 27. Yes, that's it. Okay, so I identify this as difference of cubes because I have two terms and I have a minus in the middle, and the power of one term is a multiple of 3. I can check to see if there's a greatest common factor I need to factor. There isn't, so it's just straight difference of cubes. So I have to identify A and B first. So what is A? So A is going to be a term. It could be a number, it could be a variable, it could be both. In this case, it's going to be both because I have a number and a variable, such that when I cube it, I will get 8x cubed. Okay? So in this case, the answer is 2x. Professor, why is it 2x? Because once I cube it, I get 2 cubed times x cubed, which is 8x cubed. Okay, so this is my A. And for the B, same thing. I need a number here that once I cube it, I will get 27. Ignore the sign. And obviously that number is 3. Because 3 cubed is 27. So I found A, 2x, and I found B, which is 3. Ignore the signs because the signs are going to be given to you by the formula. I have a difference of cubes, so I'm interested in the second formula right here. Now, once you have A and B, very, very carefully apply the formula for the minus in this case. So your answer would be A, which is 2x, minus B, which is 3, close parentheses open, A squared. Now, A is 2x. So A squared would be 2x squared, which is 4x squared. Okay, plus A times B. So 2x times 3, 6x, plus B squared, 3 squared, which is 9. So this is the factoring of 8x cubed minus 27. Identify A and B, and then apply the formula very, very carefully. Okay, so that's good. We can check the answer, but I think this is correct. 2x minus 3, 4x squared plus 6x plus 9. Yes, that's correct. All right, very good. Let's do the next one, which is 64x cubed plus 1. I am going to erase this because I want you to see the formula here. The formula is on the right. So let's just erase this for now. And the question was 64x cubed plus 1. Same as before. I identify this as sum of cubes. And I need to find A and I need to find B. So B is easier. B is just a number. So B is a number here that once I cube it, I get 1. So obviously it's 1 because 1 cubed is 1. So B is 1. How about A? A is going to be a number in a variable that I cube it and I get 64x cubed. All right. So obviously it's 4x because 4 cubed is 64, x cubed is x cubed. So I found that my A is 4x, my B is 1. This is sum of cubes, so I am going to apply the first formula. And once I have A and B, I can go ahead and do it. So the first parenthesis is just A plus B. Right? A plus B, open parentheses, A squared. So be very careful again. A squared is 4x squared, which is 16x squared. Minus AB, minus 4x times 1, which is just 4x, and plus B squared. Well, 1 square is just 1. And that is the answer for our 64x cubed plus 1. Okay? So always find A and B first before we can do anything. Now the last question, let's take a look at the last question and see if I can copy it here because it has multiple variables, but I want to erase this first so that we can still look at the formulas on the right side and we don't have to rewrite them. Okay, so let's see if I can. No, that didn't work. So let me copy it again. And hopefully we can put it in here. All right. So the problem is, can I move this? I cannot move it. I'll write it here. 32x cubed y minus 4y to the 4th. All right, so let's check to see if I copy this thing correctly. 32x cubed y minus 4y to the 4th. Yes, it's okay. I'm going to delete this now. Okay, good. So notice that this is a little bit different from the normal format that I have. First of all, I have two variables. Okay. So is this difference of cubes? Well, it may be, but notice one thing first. Between these two terms, I have to factor GCF, right? They have a 4 in common, so I have to factor 4 first. I get 8x cubed minus y to the 4th. And then you look at this, I still have two variables. And then you realize, oh, wait a minute, I still have a y in common. So I have to factor the y. 8x cubed minus y cubed. So notice in this case, we had a GCF that had a number in common and a variable in common. So this needs to be done first, always. And now I look at the term inside the parentheses and I recognize it as difference of cubes. I have two terms and I have a minus in the middle. So I need to identify A and B, right? So in this case, it would be 2x. Professor, why is it 2x? The reason it's 2x is because 2x cubed is 8x cubed. And B is just y, because y cubed is exactly y cubed. Okay. I found the A and B. Now, for this part, I am going to apply the formula, the negative formula, right, which is A minus B. So here's my A, here's my B. 2x minus y, A squared, and you already know 2x squared is 4x squared, plus AB, 2x times y, 2xy, and you can write 2yx, it's fine, and plus b squared, y squared. Okay, so this is the factoring for the parentheses, but you must not forget this part over here. So your final answer is the 4y, the 2x minus y, and the 4x squared plus 2xy plus y squared. Okay, so in this case, it was a difference of cubes, but before it turned it into a difference of cubes, right here, you had to do GCF. Okay, so always be on the lookout for these problems that require multiple steps, because the question is not going to say exactly what technique, but it's going to just say either factor or factor completely.